Hey everybody, this is Phoenix from Maine, and I'm here to give you my review of Real Housewives of Potomac. I just did my Real Housewives of Atlanta review, and now I'm going to do the Real Housewives of Potomac. I actually watched the Potomac girls first. I'm in Maryland, so they're actually here, and they're actually going to different places that's right in D.C. that's like an hour from me or whatever. So, it's interesting to see a show where they've been to places that you've been or that you may want to try, or just recognizing shit. That's the extra thrill you get. So I'm not gonna go through everything that happened in the episode. It really is something that you should see. Instead, I'm gonna do this review a little different. I'm gonna go through each of the women and tell you what I thought about each of the women, rather than just go scene by scene by scene. I'll start with who's probably going to be my favorite housewife. First, let's get this out the way. Real Housewives of the Potomac. Why do they keep calling these fucking shows Real Housewives when only 2 out of 6 are married? Okay, only 2 out of 6 are married. Everybody else is single or divorced. So, Real Housewives franchise continues to be a joke, seeing that there's more unmarried women on the show than there are married women on the show. My favorite is going to be Giselle Bryant, who is the ex-wife of Jamal Bryant, who, has been in the news a lot lately here. I'm in Baltimore, and we had the riots not too long ago. And he was front and center trying to help everybody calm everything down. So we've seen a lot of Jamal Bryant here lately. And, it's well known that, he's a cheater, and that, I know people who know him, who know the women that he was cheating with and all that kind of shit. I don't know any of them personally, but Giselle says on camera that, he was a cheater and getting women pregnant and all that kind of shit. So she divorced him. And I have a note here. Giselle Bryant, she's hot, she's funny, she's level-headed, but she had a horrible wig at the end of the episode. That wig was horrible. People going to be dragging her for the rest of the season for wearing that cheap-ass wig with the bangs where she had to look up because the bangs all up in her face, below her eyebrows and shit, and she looking up trying to read a bitch. Oh, you gotta see it. That's why I said this is a good show. You gotta see it. Unfortunately, Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of Potomac are not on demand. So either you have to DVR it or you just have to fucking download it, and you know what I'm talking about. Because Bravo doesn't seem to want to give easy access to Real Housewives of Atlanta or Real Housewives of Potomac. Luckily for me, I have Comcast and I can DVR the shit. But if you can't, we all know what to do. And there's even like YouTube. There's usually people that will upload the show on YouTube under you have to look up RHOA or something like that, or the name of what the episode was, because they don't want their account to get deleted. So they try to put little codes up for you. But you can find it if you want to see it bad enough. You can find it. And I don't think you can see it on Bravo website, but you can see clips. Then we've got Katie Knox, I don't know. I can't read my writing for some reason, but the bitch named Katie. And my note for her is she had 3 kids. She left her husband when she was 4 months pregnant, and she's biracial. She only likes Jewish men, or white, but preferably Jewish. And on the episode, she's with a new Jewish man who she's really trying to integrate into her life, like, instant dad. And you can see that he's very apprehensive. Every time she's like, this is our family, he's looking at her like, really? So Katie is beautiful. Just like Giselle is beautiful. But that's a lot. For a single guy, that's a large pill to swallow. A jagged little pill to swallow. Like Alanis Morissette said, the jagged little pill. of having 3 kids, no matter how cute you are, no matter how good your body is. You know, these aren't teenagers. They not about to leave the house no time soon. No, these is kids, like toddler kids. So she's looking for a new daddy for her kids, and she's a socialite. And one of my friends who was telling, we were talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. I actually ended up watching it together because he actually loved the show. We were talking about it, and I hadn't seen the whole thing yet. And we sat and we watched it, and you know, he was like saying he loved how the women actually knew each other, and they weren't just casted and put together because they showed the pictures of events and different things they had been through and how long they've known each other. Just like in the original season, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Nene was actually instrumental in bringing all the girls together. These were women she already knew. She already knew Kim. She already knew Sheree, you know, and, you know, different people. And they actually just added Candy and Phaedra and all them in later. But that's how they did with Potomac, where, you know, they took like probably Giselle or somebody, and she's bringing her friends in to do this show. And people she knows do the show. And Katie, I don't know what to say about Katie, because other than she's pretty, she didn't really show much of her personality in that first episode. It's just that, you know, she has an interesting situation. That's about it. Karen. Now, Karen Huger. She's the queen bee, self-appointed queen bee. Obviously, Giselle is the queen bee because she's the glue that brings everybody together, and she knows everybody. She's traveling through the episode, you know, talking to each of the women on the show. So Giselle really is the queen bee, but we'll let Karen think she's the queen bee. And I put the note here that she reminds me a lot of Mariah from Married to Medicine. And we all know how the situation ended with Mariah and Married to Medicine. Her ass ended up off the show. But she thought she was the queen. And she's the etiquette chick. And she has her birthday party there. And Giselle actually is 5 girls. Of course the birthday person is supposed to sit in the middle. But she says Karen says she was 30 minutes late. Giselle says she was 3 hours late. Obviously, it was a lot longer than 30 minutes because at the beginning of the episode, Charisse, which I'll talk about next, was like, you know, we shouldn't eat because Giselle's like, I'm hungry, you know, and Katie's like, I'm hungry. And she's like, we shouldn't eat until the birthday girl arrives. And so she doesn't eat, and she was reluctant to even get a drink. And then by the time Karen actually arrives, Charisse is eating. so we know that, you know, and then Giselle didn't feel like moving. So she was in the middle, the center of the seat. And, you know, Karen wanted to be in the middle. She didn't say anything, but she was just taking mental notes for later. Because when Charisse throws this, like, cookout, then Karen comes and she gives Giselle a book on etiquette of what to do when, you know, you're trying to throw somebody a birthday party. And the 5 things you need to remember was on a mirror. And she says, look in the mirror and read these to yourself. So these women were definitely, they weren't throwing water or nothing at each other. Because we know damn well ain't no real alcohol, these drinks these chicks be throwing. And, but a lot of these women on here are very shady, very catty. They throw the gay terms out there. And, but they sort of just drop bombs. Like they say something shady about a person, and then they sit back and just let the person let it sink in. Whereas on Real Housewives of Atlanta, when you say something shady to someone, Kenya, Nene, Sheree, they go from 0 to 150. You know, the girls on Potomac, you know, they go from 0 to 10. Nobody's gone to 0 to 100 or 0 to 150 yet. Instead, you know, somebody says something catty to them, they may say something catty back, or their jaw may just drop to the ground. But as I said, the next one is Charisse Jackson Jordan. Charisse Jackson Jordan. She's married to a coach, And she's one of the ones with plenty of money. Both her and Karen and Charisse are the only two on the show that's married. And Charisse's husband, I forgot what team he coaches, but he's now coaching a team in New Jersey. But Charisse has stayed here in Maryland. And immediately that didn't sit right with me. I'm like, that doesn't make no fucking sense. Their marriage is in trouble because if you're married to someone and his job is now in a different state, which I mean is New Jersey, is like what, 2 hours away, is in a different state, then you go to be with your man. Period. So I mean, it's not like she has a job that we know of that she couldn't be supportive, because damn well he in New Jersey fucking. He's got some chick on the side or something going on. I don't know that this is true, but when you leave your wife in another state and you're on a professional team, and you got some money, you ain't sleeping by yourself. Ain't a whole bunch of lonely nights, in my opinion. So I knew shit was in trouble. It wasn't until we saw the trailer what happened throughout the season at the end. Because Charisse was, her first scene, she seemed really nice. And then in her second scene, when she's having the cookout, she asks Giselle to help out to cook the crabs. And then Giselle comes with a friend, and she's upset because she brought a friend uninvited. And it's her stylist, and who she, because Housewives of Atlanta always gotta have a gay guy. Excuse me. So she brought her stylist with her, who she thought could help Charisse out, because Charisse, for somehow in that conversation, was talking about hers wasn't gonna show up or some shit. When they got there, she was in full hair and makeup. Somebody doing her toes, somebody doing her nails, somebody doing her makeup. So she was being fully glammed out. So she didn't need a stylist. So Giselle is looking for different things to help cook the crabs, and they're being ghetto. They're like calling up the steps, and this is making Charisse mad. So Charisse was like, I'm this close to putting you out of my house. So Giselle's like, did she just threaten to throw me out? And so Charisse has an attitude. And then she goes right into the scene where after she changes clothes and puts on that horrible fucking wig, Giselle, so if that's her stylist, he fucked her up. Because she looked horrible with that wig. I can't remember what she wore. But I'm sure the body was nice. But that hair is so fucking distraction. Because that looked like some shit you get from the Chinese store. When you only got like $10, $15. And I know, because I have a production company, and I had to buy wigs for my girls for my vampire series, Eating Lost. Hopefully you'll watch it. I brought the cheap wigs for the chicks. I'm looking to buy $200 for a wig for a scene that was going to be like, a couple of scenes. So, it looked cheaper than the shit that I would buy. And, so that was that. And then the last person is Robin Dixon. She's divorced. I forgot which guy. She was married to a baller. They had a kid or some kids. And her interesting situation is that they're divorced, but they're still living together. And they're raising their kids together. So they're pretty much, being a family without being married. Because he lives with her. The money's still in the household. And it's like, some people are just better without being married than they are married. And I think that maybe that's the situation. I'm sure that if the situation continues as it is, eventually he's going to marry her again. But for now, they're just happy just living together. So we'll see how that turns out. I know that in the trailer, I think she was crying because she was scared to marry him and then have him cheat or do whatever the fuck he did before. So she's on the fence about it. But that was Housewives of Potomac. It was actually a lot of fun. I don't know how well I conveyed that in my review. But I really, really recommend it, and I can't wait to see it next week. If you haven't done so, please take a minute to subscribe to me. And also, I'm going to put my links to Twitter and Instagram because I'm trying to build my following on there. And I hope you'll follow me, and thank you for watching.